Welcome back. Do remember you can find all our top stories on channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. You can also watch us on the go on your mobile device. All you need to do is log on to m.channelstv.com or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. The Channels TV and the Channels 24 apps will give you access to news and updates. You'll also have access to the Eyewitness feature, with which you can be part of the news. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu. Follow the instructions so you can share pictures, videos, or news of happenings around you. Niger State has signed a $450 million memorandum of understanding with the Dangote Group to set up an integrated sugarcane plantation and refinery plants in the state. The multi-million-dollar project is to be sited at a 16,000-hectare land in Lavun local government area of the state. As part of the agreement, Dangote Sugar Refinery will purchase up to 30% of its sugarcane from growers in the host communities integrated into the project.
The $450 million deal, which was signed in Niger State, will see the Dangote Group producing raw sugarcane on 16,000 hectares of land at Lavun local government through an outgrower scheme. The company, which is operating the same scheme in rice production in a number of states across the country, has Africa's largest sugar refinery in Lagos and a sugarcane plantation in Numan, Adamawa State. The Niger State Governor, Abubakar Bello, believes the deal will revolutionize agriculture in his state and Nigeria.
What we are doing here today underscores our desire to change the economic narratives of the state from a mono source to a state economy with multiple sources of income. Only last week, at our first investment summit, we signed another key memorandum of understanding for the acquisition, design, and development of an agricultural city around the Tegina area.
Going by the words of the president of the group, Aliko Dangote, the project will generate over 15,000 jobs in the state and bring about a complete economic turnaround.
To achieve 1.5 million metric tons of sugar, we need a little bit over 150,000 tons of, 150,000 hectares of land. And these 150,000 hectares of land, we want to also introduce an outgrower where we would also empower farmers around the area to grow the sugar. We'll give them all the implements, everything, and then we will guarantee to buy whatever they grow.
A representative of the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment explains that the project is in line with the federal government's Industrial Revolution Plan, which will see a drastic reduction in food importation.
Sugar, as at today, the nation imports almost 96% of its requirement, and that tells you the deficit involved. 96% of what we use is being imported. So by the time we develop this local capacity, we save the dear need foreign exchange, which is very scarce as at today. And then, as said, we give employment to our people and we build local capacity.
The integrated sugar mills is expected to have the capacity to produce 160,000 metric tons of raw sugar. The Dangote Group's foray into the sugar business began in 1981. It has injected over $104 million into the Savannah Sugar Company it acquired from the government in 2003. This year alone, Savannah Sugar has produced 20,000 metric tons of raw sugar from its plantation.
Now let's take a look at the state of agriculture in Nigeria and the effects of the federal government's attempt to revolutionize the sector. Joining us on the program is an agribusiness consultant, African farmer Mogaji. Thank you very much for joining us on News Across Nigeria.
Yeah, good
Very
afternoon.
interesting name you have there.
Thank you.
But state governments in Nigeria are already keen into the fact that agriculture remains the most viable to revamp the economy, and that's being campaigned by the federal government. Now I'm asking now, what about small agribusinesses? What plans do you have for them?
Well, for now, most of the state governments are focusing a bit on the commercial investors and commercial agribusinesses, while less attention is given to the small and medium. But to be sustainable, it's an integration of the commercial, small, and medium. So I would like to see a development in that sector. We have quite a lot of state governments positively engaging the agricultural sector. However, it's more on an employment platform. So they set up project and they employ the youths. And it should be vice versa. Set up a project, train them, and release it to them, but monitor.
Okay, but how much of a turnaround have you seen after all the campaign by the federal government saying we shouldn't rely only on oil, we should tilt into encouraging agriculture? How much of a turnaround have you seen so far?
I've not seen much. I've not seen much. Though I expected that it will be slow because the sector has been on the, the muddy waters for so many years. 10, 15, 20 years up until the last administration. So I didn't expect any miracle, but I expected the pace to be a bit faster.
Okay, but why do you think it is so slow? Because there must be a reason.
Yes, I think the stakeholders are not working together, especially when it comes to government. Because in agriculture, as far as Africa is concerned, government plays a very key role. So you find the Ministry of Agriculture doing so much, but not integrating with Ministry of Water Resources, and also bringing in Ministry for Trade and Investment. So on paper, they seem to be talking about it, but when it comes to implementation, they're not together. And until we have that synergy, that's when we will have speed.
Okay, so when do you think that this big drastic action we're expecting in the reduction of importation of food in Nigeria will happen?
If they work together, a space of 6 months. If they work together, because the Ministry of Water Resources has chunk of the lands, agricultural lands, while the Ministry of Agriculture has the knowledge and skill transfer. So until there's a synergy, and who is promoting? The Ministry of Trade and Investment. So until they see themselves as partners and there's a blueprint that they're running with, we would not see that speed. But if they work together, if the Vice President's office is able to bring them together to speak a common language, to run the same vision, 6 months it's okay, because most of the basic foods we need, poultry, tomatoes, corn, you get them within 3 months. So in 3 months, we will produce enough, and it will, have a ripple effect into the small cottage industry that process. And the big organizations like Dangote and Co. also can come to guarantee these products. So 6 months when there's synergy.
All right, okay.
Based on what has been done so far in the last 2 years.
In the last 2 years. Thank you very much. African farmer Mogaji, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
On News Across Nigeria. All right, now to other stories. The Bank of Industry has disbursed 3.5 billion naira to small-scale business owners in Osun State, southwest Nigeria. The managing director of the bank, Olukayode Ikpiton, told participants at the business clinic held in conjunction with the Osun State government that the bank aims to do more to assist businesses to grow.
The Bank of Industry team, in conjunction with the Osun State government, hosts a business clinic for small and medium enterprises in the state. The purpose of this clinic is to enable SME owners interact with the government agencies on the challenges faced by the stakeholders with a view to providing lasting solutions. Before the start of the program, the BoI team, led by the managing director, Olukayode Ikpiton, pays a visit to the deputy governor, Titilayo Tomorilaoye. The BoI boss acknowledges the state government's effort in jointly funding the loans with the BoI. However, he calls for an increased funding to meet the rising demands of loans from the SMEs.
We are already partners with Osun State, but we want to seek closer partnership and collaboration with the state.
But it appears that funding is not the only problem facing SMEs as they table their other demands.
Delay in the issuance of title documents. To obtain title documents from the government nowadays is challenging and could take as long as a year or more. The situation is sometimes so frustrating that some people don't even bother to apply again. Our plea is that government should help to speed up the processes involved.
The harmonization of different collections, taxes, and rates by both state and local governments. Some of these rates are too high for us to bear.
The state government and the BoI team assure the SMEs that their demands would be met.
So we're going to work with the state government to ensure that those who had loans are approved. Maybe their request can be fast-tracked. So that's one of the things we are going to do. They also complain about the length of time it takes to access facilities from us. That one is internal. We are going to look into it and ensure that the loans that are approved are disbursed timely.
At the end of this meeting, all the parties leave with high expectations, but perhaps it is the small and medium enterprises that are most hopeful that the Bank of Industry and the state government will meet their demands.
We have more stories for you on News Across Nigeria. Please stay with us.